The reenactments and commentary in this program may contain frank talk of a sexual nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Day 7 of the Michael Jackson trial. It's punch and counter punch as both sides swing for a knockout. Hello, I'm James Curtis. Welcome to the Michael Jackson trial and E! News presentation. Before prosecutor Tom Sneddon finished with his teenage witness, he elicited one last damning piece of evidence. Now, the Aldo that you will hear referred to is the brother of one of the Jackson aides. Here's how it happened, according to the courtroom transcripts.
Were there times when you were at the ranch and Aldo was not there?
Yes.
Were there times when you were at the ranch when Mr. Jackson and Aldo was not there?
Yes.
With regard to your sister, okay, Davelin?
Okay.
Did Mr. Jackson ever make any statements about Davelin to you?
He told us not to tell her anything because he's afraid we might tell her mom.
About what?
About what we were doing.
What do you mean? What were you doing at the time that Mr. Jackson was making those statements to you?
Drinking.
At any time while you were at the ranch during the period of time from Miami till the time that you left, did you have any other conversations with Mr. Jackson that you haven't told us about, just yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And with regard to those conversations, what topics have you not told us about so far in your testimony that you had a discussion with Mr. Jackson about?
There was one time Michael told me, well, it was me, my brother and Aldo on the bed, and he was telling us not to tell anything that happened, not even if they put a gun to your head.
Did he say why?
No.
Well, next, defense attorney Tom Mesereau begins his attack quickly and concisely.
Now, during the 2 times you claim you saw Michael Jackson touch your brother in bed, that bell went off, didn't it?
Yes.
When you walk into the hallway, Mr. is there another alarm system?
Which hallway?
The hallway going into Mr. Jackson's bedroom. Once you go through the hallway, the bell goes off, right?
Yes.
And when you try to go into Michael Jackson's bedroom upstairs, is there any other alarm?
No.
Have you ever heard of there being another alarm that goes off as you try to enter Michael Jackson's bedroom?
No.
Okay. You're aware that if you're in Michael Jackson's bedroom upstairs, you can hear that bell?
When the doors are open.
Pardon me?
When the doors are open.
Well, the purpose of it is to let Michael Jackson know if he's upstairs, if anybody's come into the hallway, isn't it?
I'm going to object to that. Calls for speculation on the part of this witness.
Sustained.
Mr. Did Mr. Jackson ever tell you that the reason that alarm system goes off is to let him know if anyone is trying to enter his bedroom?
No.
So you were not aware of that?
No.
All right, let's get right to it. Howard Weitzman, this alarm, you're familiar with the inside of Michael Jackson's facility, the compound that is Neverland, the route to the bedroom, widely reported, fully laden with alarms, bells, whistles, you name it. How feasible is the explanation of this witness?
Not feasible. It's really simple. I said it yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
This is a story that this young man is making up, in my opinion. And this is what reasonable doubt's all about. If he lied in this particular situation, the jury can believe he and his family lied in everything else.
And let's get to the specificity, the particulars of what he's saying. Can you, I assume that you've been down that hallway, and I assume that that's
I've
not
been in that area of the house.
attorney-client privileged information, so you can actually talk about it. Can you walk down that hallway without Michael Jackson or whoever might be in that bedroom knowing, given the elaborate system that he has set up there?
I guess if the alarms are disconnected and the cameras are not on, but this young man, my recollection is he said he heard the bell or heard the noise. It just doesn't make any sense.
Sean, go ahead, Ricky.
One of the things that should happen in this case is they should go take a view. And this benefits whichever side is correct, whichever side is truthful. The jurors should be able to go into that bedroom. They should listen to the alarm system. They should be able to go to the space where Michael Jackson and young Gavin actually were supposed to be and find out if it could be heard. It's a simple answer.
You know, I'm going to take a little bit of prosecution point
here.
No.
Can you believe it?
Stop the presses.
I guess that Mr. Sneddon is going to argue at some point that only a child molester would need bells and alarms leading to the bedroom.
Well,
why else would you need that? But of course, Mr. Mesereau is going to say what's of greater importance is that Mr. Jackson, if he's molesting somebody and hears a bell, is going to stop doing that.
Absolutely, and certainly if he assumes or seems to think that it's Michael Jackson, that what he's doing is wrong, certainly he might just close that door. Now, Tom Mesereau accuses the boy of changing his story.
Well, when you met with psychologist Stanley Katz, you also described what you claim happened in Michael Jackson's bedroom, right?
Yes.
And would you agree that you've given different descriptions almost every time that you have described it?
I don't remember exactly what I said.
Well, you've given different descriptions about what Michael Jackson was wearing, right?
I don't remember exactly what I said.
You've given different descriptions of what Gavin was supposed to be wearing, right?
I don't remember exactly what I said.
You've given different descriptions about what you claim Michael Jackson did in the bedroom, right?
No.
Well, there were times you said that Michael Jackson put his hand on top of your brother's underwear, right?
I don't remember saying that.
And there are other times you said he put his hand inside his underwear, right?
Yes.
And there are times you've said your brother was wearing pajamas, right?
Yes.
There are times you said he was wearing underwear, right?
I don't remember.
And there are times you said that Michael Jackson touched his butt and not his crotch, right?
When was this?
When you did some interviews, right?
About what?
About what Michael Jackson, you claim, was doing in his bedroom, right?
I never said he touched his butt.
Did you ever tell anyone that when you saw Michael Jackson in bed with your brother, he was rubbing his butt?
No.
Never said that at any time to anybody?
No.
Never said it to Mr. Katz, right?
No.
Never said it to the sheriffs, right?
No.
And never said it to a grand jury, right?
No.
Sean Chapman Holly, this is some classic laying what we call a foundation, or what you might call lying in wait for this witness, because you know the questions that he's asking about, you never did this, you never did that, there's some ammunition waiting for him.
Right, lying in wait. Operative words, lying. He's being evasive. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times he says, I don't remember what, I don't remember saying that, I don't remember having said that. He remembered everything when Mr. Snedden was questioning him. Now suddenly he's got this very convenient amnesia. I guarantee you, Mr. Mesereau has got proof that this witness has said all of these things and is going to demonstrate that he's a liar.
But Ricky, we know that even people who are truthful will have, if you get them to tell their story enough times, some inconsistencies naturally.
Yes, they will have some inconsistencies naturally, but not this kind of an inconsistency.
How do you tell the difference, though?
No, we're talking about the essence of the alleged crime. Where he touched him, when he touched him, how he touched him, that's the crime. You don't suddenly decide he touched him in the front versus the back and it changes. That's different than I can't remember whether something was red or pink. You know, this is a problem for the prosecution big time.
Speaking of red or pink, when we come back, was it red wine or a white lie? Stay with us.
The reenactments and commentary in this program may contain frank talk of a sexual nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back. Defense attorney Tom Mesereau now works to undermine the state's star witness. Here's how it happened, according to the courtroom transcripts.
And didn't you say under oath that your mother and dad never fight?
Yes.
Was that true?
I really, sometimes.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your answer. When you told, excuse me, let me rephrase. When you stated under oath in the J.C. Penney deposition in the year 2000 that your mom and dad never fight, were you telling the truth?
No.
Did someone tell you to lie in that deposition?
I don't remember.
You don't remember at all?
No, it happened a long time ago.
By the way, do you remember yesterday when you told the jury that on the plane you looked at a soda can that Michael Jackson had and you saw a red ring around it?
Yes.
You told that to the police in one of your interviews also, didn't you?
I think so.
You also told the police that you looked in the can and saw white wine, correct?
When?
When you told them there was a red ring around the can, you then told them you looked in the can and saw white wine, remember?
I don't remember saying that.
Do you recall ever being caught in the wine cellar drinking wine when Michael Jackson wasn't present?
Never.
Never happened?
It's always locked, and to unlock it, you need a key. There's no combination to get in there.
Let me repeat my question. Do you recall ever being caught in the wine cellar at Neverland with Gavin drinking wine when Michael Jackson wasn't even there?
No.
Are you saying that never happened?
Yes.
Do you ever recall being caught at any other location in Neverland drinking wine when Michael Jackson wasn't there?
No.
Okay, that never happened.
Yes.
Well, if you can believe it, coming up next, the courtroom battle gets even hotter.
Okay, just what you're looking at appears to be a black briefcase with some girly magazines, right?
Yes.
And the first one says barely legal on it. Do you see that?
Yes.
And it appears to be a blonde woman lifting up her shirt, correct?
Yes.
And it appears to be a blonde woman who's exposing her breasts, right?
Yes.
And she appears to be wearing a dark pair of shorts, right?
Yes.
Before you testified yesterday, you looked at that photograph with Prosecutor Snedden, correct?
Yes.
You told Prosecutor Snedden that those are the magazines you had seen at Neverland, right?
Yes.
You told Prosecutor Snedden that Michael Jackson had showed you those magazines, right?
Yes.
Michael Jackson never showed you that magazine, Barely Legal, did he?
What?
Michael Jackson never showed you that magazine, Barely Legal, did he?
He did show us.
He did?
Yes.
Well, Star, did you look at the date of the magazine? It's August of 2003, is it not?
Well, I never said that was exactly that one.
Well, your family had left Neverland many months before, never to return, correct?
I'm telling you that wasn't exactly the one he showed us.
That's not what you said yesterday, and it's not what you said today, right?
Your Honor, that's argumentative.
Sustained. When you told the jury yesterday that Michael Jackson showed you the magazine Barely Legal, you were not telling the truth, right?
I said that he did show us Barely Legal. I didn't say that he showed us that exact one. He showed us those magazines.
You told the jury yesterday that Michael showed you the particular magazine depicted in the photograph, didn't you?
No, I said that he showed us those types of magazines.
All right, that magazine, those types. Howard, let you and I have a man-to-man moment. Ladies, please excuse us. I don't know this type of magazine personally, but I would assume that the covers of these magazines, August, November, December, whatever date, look a lot alike. Isn't that a fair point that this witness is making?
Okay, so the inference is I do know those magazines personally.
Well, I didn't go there, Howard, but you're welcome to. Go ahead.
Look, this cross-examination is classic cross-examination.
Sure it is.
It should happen to every trial lawyer at least once in their lifetime.
Career, yeah.
Instead of Prosecutor Snedden, you might want to say Persecutor Snedden. Snedden had to know what this kid was like. And if he did know what he's like, he shouldn't have been prosecuting this case.
But isn't it really, truly, and all kidding aside, isn't it a fair point that this witness attempts to make? Perhaps it wasn't this particular magazine, but a magazine like this, because all Snedden has to do, doesn't he, Ricky, is come back, get a backdated issue of the magazine that has a similar cover.
Well, I assume that Mr. Snedden is going to try and scramble and do just that.
Now, you're saying scramble. That implies he didn't have it already.
Well, this is the problem. Mr. Snedden introduced those magazines. He put them into evidence, and he did a big thing in his opening, in addition to his direct examination of this boy, about talking about this particular woman, lifting of the shirt, the comment that was totally inappropriate, if said, by Michael Jackson about milk.
Yes.
Now, to go from that certainty and then go to say, oh, well, it could have been another magazine, bad.
All right, hold the point till we come back, Shuggs. I want to talk to you about certainty in these answers, the I don't know versus the I absolutely did not say that. As we move on, the defense shifts its attack from magazines to another medium.
Okay. You and your brother had looked at internet sites before you ever visited Neverland, hadn't you?
No, I was never really used the internet.
Your brother had, as far as you know, right?
No, I never really monitored my brother.
Pardon me?
I never really monitored my brother.
When Michael Jackson gave your brother a computer,
yes,
you and your brother already knew how to use it, correct?
No, he called someone to hook it up. Well, talked to my brother on the phone of how to hook it up.
You told the police in your first interview you looked at www.pussy.com.
No, I was making an example that I was trying to say. That wasn't the exact site. I'm just saying. I was just making an example.
Okay. You also told the police you might have looked at www.teenpussy.com, right?
No, I never said that.
Okay, Star. You and your brother were caught at Neverland looking at computer sites when Michael wasn't even there, right?
There's no computers at Neverland.
Your brother had one.
At the beginning, but then it broke, and then we never had it again. And the only other computer there was Frank's computer, and Frank took it everywhere he went.
Okay, so you never were caught by anybody?
No.
Looking at adult material sites on a computer?
No.
Is that correct?
There's no computers in Neverland.
None, huh? Well, as the defense continues, Tom Meserole probably hopes that the ticking sound you hear is time running out on the credibility of this witness.
Well, you said words to the effect, Michael Jackson kept my family away from clocks and time, right?
Were those my exact words?
No, I'm saying words to that effect. You remember exactly how you said it to the sheriff?
No, I don't know exactly.
Do you remember roughly how you said it to the sheriffs?
Not really.
Did you say anything like that to the sheriffs?
Yes.
Please tell the jury what you told the sheriffs.
I'm going to be guessing because I don't know my exact words.
Okay, I'm not asking for your exact words. I'm just asking you generally what you said.
They kept us away from clocks. We didn't know the exact time or date or nothing.
Would you agree that overlooking Neverland is a huge clock?
Yes, it's a flower clock.
Yes, and to the right of that big flower clock is another clock, correct?
Probably.
There are clocks all over Neverland, correct?
Yes.
And you and your brothers used to run all around Neverland, right?
Yes.
You wanted the sheriffs to think that you and your family were imprisoned and kept away from clocks.
No.
That's why you told them that lie, right?
No.
If there are clocks all over Neverland, if there's a big flower clock on a hill overlooking Neverland, and if you and your brothers were running freely around Neverland, why did you tell the Santa Barbara sheriffs we were kept away from clocks and time?
Because they were wrong and we were kept away from them. We weren't able to know the time.
Your mother told you to say that, didn't she?
No.
It was a lie, wasn't it?
No.
It defies common sense, doesn't it?
Can you explain?
You don't know what that means?
I know what common sense is.
Everywhere you go at Neverland, you can see clocks, right?
Not everywhere.
Sean, can it get any better for the defense at this point?
It can't get any better. I love this so much. This is so classic and so
Don't get
wonderful.
too gleeful
All
on
right,
it, Sean.
I'm sorry.
Come on,
I
try to
can't help
contain
it. I
yourself.
just can't help it. But, you know, they started off. This sounds so good. There's no clocks. It leads, of course, the false imprisonment claim.
Sure,
we don't know what
exactly.
time it is. We don't know what's
It's like
going
being
on.
trapped in Las Vegas. No
Right,
clocks. It's
right.
horrible.
But oops, there's clocks everywhere. I mean, we've all seen these pictures of Neverland. There's a big clock.
And
it all falls apart.
Indeed, Ricky Kleeman, it is inconsistent. The clocks are either not present or they're present and they're wrong. You can't have it both ways.
No, you can't have it both ways. And I do have to agree with Sean that this is my favorite moment thus far in this
Why?
trial. Because it's just this making the story bigger for the prosecution. We didn't know if it was day or night. I'm in solitary confinement. I can't get out. I mean, come on. There's clocks everywhere, and there is daylight, and there is nightlight. And the reality is, this is the kind of section for Tom Mesereau that can carry the day for the defense.
And will it carry over to the remaining witnesses in the prosecution quiver? Still ahead, Jackson's attorney unleashes a new assault on the truthfulness of the witness. Stay with us.
The reenactments and commentary in this program may contain frank talk of a sexual nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back. Defense attorney Tom Mesereau continues to aggressively challenge the teenage witness on the stand. Here's what the jurors heard according to the courtroom transcripts.
You told Stanley Katz that Michael Jackson had his left hand on Gavin's crotch, right?
Yes.
Never told him that Michael Jackson was masturbating Gavin?
He wasn't masturbating. He was just feeling.
He was just feeling him.
Yes.
Do you remember yesterday you told the jury he was masturbating him?
No, I said Michael was feeling my brother while he was masturbating.
Okay. Did you ever tell the jury yesterday that Michael was masturbating your brother?
No.
Did you ever tell that to anybody?
No.
Okay. Do you remember when you described for Stanley Katz the second time you claim Michael Jackson was observed by you in bed with your brother? Do you remember that?
What?
Do you remember telling Stanley Katz there was a second time that you went up the stairs and observed Michael Jackson touching your brother?
Yes.
Did you tell Stanley Katz that Michael Jackson had his hand on your brother's crotch?
Yes.
That's really not what you told him at all, is it?
What are you talking about?
Well, you told Stanley Katz that Michael Jackson was rubbing his penis against Gavin's buttocks, didn't you?
When? The second time?
Yes. Did you tell Stanley Katz that?
No.
Would it refresh your recollection if I show you his grand jury testimony?
I know what I said, though.
Are you denying telling psychologist Stanley Katz
The second time.
that you told him the second time you observed Michael Jackson touching your brother in bed that Michael Jackson was rubbing his penis against your brother's buttocks?
No.
You never told that to Stanley Katz?
No.
All right, we got to wrap it up, but who's ahead and your final thoughts, Howard?
Well, I am really concerned this prosecution is brought. How could Tom Sneddon not know about the difference in dates in the magazine? How could Tom Sneddon not know about the alarm on the stairs and whether you could see it or not? How could Tom Sneddon not know that wine doesn't smell like rubbing alcohol? This boy's credibility has been an issue from the minute he took the stand, and I'm very concerned. So I'm neither gleeful or happy about this prosecution, although it's going well for the defense. I'm concerned we're even going forward with this prosecution.
Sean.
Well, I'll tell you why Tom Sneddon didn't know this. He did know it, but he ignored it because he is so just vicious and vindictive, and he has his gunning for Michael Jackson, and he was willing to ignore this stuff to get Michael Jackson.
All right. Ricky?
Well, I don't know Tom Sneddon personally, and I do know that he certainly has been after Michael Jackson for a long time. However, that may allow him to be a little bit sloppy from time to time and overzealousness. It doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't believe these people or that he isn't going to win the case. And the way he can win the case is the way we all know he can, which is the evidence of the 1993 incident coming in. The judge's reserved decision, and if that comes in, and if other accusers from another time and place come in...
And if they're more credible than the accusers and the witnesses that we hear now, what do you think?
It's a problem. It's a problem for the defense, then. It all shifts back again.
The 93 case shouldn't come in. This judge clearly has an agenda. I've said that from day one. You can just see his rulings. Tom Sneddon can do whatever he wants.
In spite of that agenda, this evidence is coming out, at least at this point, strongly in favor of the defense. So the judge can do what he wants, but he can't control the witness.
That's true. But the evidence is what it is, and you have a witness who's clearly a liar. Certainly, in part, he concedes to lying. He's not an accused liar, an alleged liar. He is a liar.
All right, we're going to have to leave it right there. That's it for us for today. But be sure to watch our exclusive Michael Jackson trial coverage every weeknight, 7:30 and 9 p.m. right here on E! See you tomorrow.